Now we are talking about the prism. So when light passes through the prism, it separates into 7 colors and it gives the band of colors called the spectrum. If you write the initial letter in order, we get the VCR: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, from top to bottom. So what is a prism means? It is a transparent body bounded by the 3 rectangles glass surfaces. One is here, one is here, and other is at the bottom. 3 rectangular surfaces and 2 triangle surfaces, this end and that end. So prism is the transparent body bounded by 3 rectangular surfaces and 2 triangular surfaces. Now, why the white light split into 7 colors means when the pair of medium is a constant to air to glass or glass to air constant, then refractive index will change according to the light color. Why? Each color has a different speed in the pair. When light passes from glass to air, each light bends in different way due to the difference in the speed. And also when light moves from glass to air, then also light has a different bendings. So due to these different bendings, all will separate. Red color has a different bending than the green. Green has a different bending than the orange. Orange has a different bending than the yellow. Yellow has a different bending than the blue. In this way. So due to this difference in the speed, they bend differently and due to that bending differently, they appear as a band. This band is called spectrum. So the refractive index can also be determined by this prism. That can be seen by the derivation here given now.
Refractive index of material of the prism. This is a prism ABC. PQ is the incident ray. This one is normal drawn to the first refracting surface of the prism. Angle of incidence noted as I1. QR is the refracted ray inside the prism. R1 is the first angle of refraction. A second normal is drawn to the second refracting surface of the prism. R2 is the second refracting angle. RS is the emergent ray, and this is angle of emergence I2. If we extend the incident ray PQ, it will be PQT, and extend the emergent ray RS in the backward direction, the incident ray and the emergent ray will meet at a point. The angle between the incident ray and the emergent ray is called angle of deviation. So this is the final picture. Let us observe closely. Observe this triangle URQ. Observe the interior angles. in the triangle URQ, this angle is one of the exterior angles. This one is an interior angle and this is another interior angle. In a triangle, exterior angle is equal to sum of opposite interior angles. D is equal to I1 minus R1 plus I2 minus R2. After rewriting, we will get D is equal to I1 plus I2 minus of R1 plus R2. Let it be equation number 1. Now, observe this triangle ARQ and the interior angles 90 minus R1 and 90 minus R2. Let us have a close and clear look. Triangle ARQ. Angle at A is A only. Angle at Q is 90 minus R1. Angle at R is 90 minus R2. In a triangle, sum of three interior angles is equal to 180 degree. So 90 degree minus R1 plus 90 degree minus R2 plus A together equal to 180 degree. On simplification, we get A equal to R1 plus R2. Let it be equation number 2. The equation 1 and equation 2 are rewritten. From these two equations, we can write D is equal to I1 plus I2 minus A. On rearranging, we can write I1 plus I2 is equal to A plus D. Let it be equation number 3. Let the absolute refractive index of surrounding medium be N1 and the absolute refractive index of material of the prism be N2. So the N1 and N2 are represented in the diagram. PQ is the incident ray and this is angle of incidence I1, and after refraction the angle of refraction is R1. Applying Snell's law at point Q, we get N1 sin I1 is equal to N2 sin R1. If air is the surrounding medium, then N1 is equal to 1. And let us assume N2 is equal to N. Then sin I1 is equal to N sin R1. Let it be equation number 4. Now, on the other refracting surface, QR is the incident ray and this one is normal. So, R2 is the angle of incidence and I2 will be the angle of refraction. Applying Snell's law at point R, we get N2 sin R2 is equal to N1 sin I2. But N1 is equal to 1 and let N2 is equal to N, then N sin R2 is equal to sin I2. Let it be equation number 5. Now, this is incident ray and this one is emergent ray. If you slowly increase the angle of incidence, you will observe the angle of deviation goes on decreasing. The angle of deviation first decreases with increase of angle of incidence and reaches a minimum. It is called angle of minimum deviation and is denoted by letter capital D. Further, if you go on increasing the angle of incidence, you will observe the angle of deviation increases. After minimum deviation, the angle of deviation once again increases with increase of angle of incidence. During minimum deviation condition, small d will be written as capital D. The ray inside the prism will be parallel to the base of the prism. Angle of incidence and angle of emergence will be equal. So, I1 is equal to I2 and let it be equal to I. The two refracting angles are also equal. R1 is equal to R2. Let it be equal to R. During minimum deviation condition, the equation 3, I1 plus I2 is equal to A plus D becomes I plus I is equal to A plus D, and hence 2I is equal to A plus D, or we can write I equal to A plus D by 2. Let it be equation number 6. The equation 2, that is R1 plus R2 is equal to A, becomes 2R is equal to A, or R is equal to A by 2. Let it be equation number 7. The equation 4, written as sin I1 is equal to N sin R2, now becomes sin I is equal to N sin R, or we can write N is equal to sin I by sin R. Let it be equation number 8. Substituting equation 6 given by I equal to A plus D by 2 and equation 7 given by R equal to A by 2, in the equation 8 given by N equal to sin I by sin R, we get N is equal to sin of A plus D by 2 by sin A by 2. This is the formula for the refractive index of the material of the prism. So finally, N is equal to sin of A plus D by 2 by sin A by 2. Recapitulation. The angle between the incident ray and the emergent ray is called angle of deviation. It is denoted by D. The angle of deviation first decreases with increase of angle of incidence and reaches a minimum. It is called angle of minimum deviation and is denoted by capital D. After minimum deviation, the angle of deviation increases with increase of angle of incidence. During angle of minimum deviation, the ray inside the prism will be parallel to the base. During angle of minimum deviation, angle of incidence and angle of emergence will be equal, I1 equal to I2. And the two refracting angles are also equal, that is R1 equal to R2. During angle of minimum deviation, 2I is equal to A plus D and 2R equal to A. The refractive index N of the material of the prism is given by N equal to sin of A plus D by 2 by sin A by 2.
Reason behind the brilliance of diamonds? What is the reason behind the formation of mirages? What is the basic principle behind working of optical fiber? For these three questions, only one answer, that is total internal reflection. By doing an activity, we are going to know about critical angle and total internal reflection. For this activity, we need a plank covered by white chart, semicircular glass disc, circular protractor, and laser light. Take a wooden plank which is covered with white chart. Draw two perpendicular lines passing through the middle of the paper. Mark horizontal line as mm while vertical line as nn. Draw a circle and mark angles from 0 degrees to 90 degrees in 4 quarters of the circle by using a circular protractor. Now place a semicircular glass disc so that its diameter coincides with the line mm. Here, glass disc is denser medium and air is rarer medium. The line mm is interface of the two media and the line NN is normal. When we send laser light through glass disc, it bends away from the normal. Why? Because it travels from denser to rarer medium. At the same time, some part of light reflected into the glass disc. Here, there are three angles, that is, angle of incidence, angle of refraction, and angle of reflection. Let us observe carefully. When we increase the angle of incidence, the refracted angle also increases respectively. But at certain angle of incidence, the refracted ray grazes the interface of the glass and air. After that, refraction does not take place. Totally, the light reflected into the denser medium. This phenomenon is called total internal reflection. Once again, we will understand about critical angle and total internal reflection by using images of this activity. When light ray passes through the normal, does not deviate. When light passes through 10 degrees, it refracts at 15 degrees and some part of light reflects at 10 degrees. When light passes through 20 degrees, it refracts at 30 degrees and some part of light reflects at 20 degrees. When light passes through 30 degrees, it refracts at 50 degrees and some part of light reflects at 30 degrees. When light passes through 40 degrees, it refracts at 80 degrees and some part of light reflects at 40 degrees. Observe carefully. When light ray passes through 42 degrees, refracted ray grazes the interface and some part of light reflected into the glass slab at 42 degrees. So 42 degrees is the critical angle of the glass slab. Therefore, critical angle is defined as the angle of incidence at which the light ray traveling from denser to rarer medium grazes the interface is called critical angle for denser medium. When the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, refraction does not take place. The total light ray is reflected into denser medium. This phenomenon is called total internal reflection. Now we are going to understand the reason for brilliance of diamond. The critical angle of diamond is very low, that is 24.4 degrees. So if a light ray enters a diamond, it is very likely to undergo total internal reflection, which makes the diamond shine. Do you know about mirages? Mirage is an optical illusion where it appears that water has collected on the road at a distant place. But when we go there, we don't find any water. During a hot summer day, air just above the road surface is very hot and the air at higher altitudes is cool. Here, hot air acts as rarer medium, while cool air denser medium. When the light from tall object such as a tree or from sky passes from cool air to hot air, it takes a curved path because of total internal reflection. This appears to the observer as if light ray is reflected from the ground. Hence, we feel the illusion of water being present on the road. These are optical fibers. An optical fiber is very thin fiber made of glass or plastic. Even there is a bending, light is transmitted along the fibers from one end to another end. Let us observe the transmission of light in optical fibers. Here we are inserting some optical fibers into a pipe. Observe here, light is transmitted from one end to another end through the optical fibers which are inserted in the pipe. Even though there is bending, light is transmitted through optical fibers. How is it possible? This is due to total internal reflection. When light enters into optical fiber, it makes a nearly glancing incidence on the wall. The angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle and hence total internal reflection takes place. Thus, the light is transmitted along the fiber. By using optical fibers, endoscopic light pipe is prepared. Doctor inserts the pipe into the stomach through the mouth. Light is sent through one set of fibers in the light pipe. This illuminates the inside of the stomach. The light from the inside travels back through another set of fibers in the pipe. Hence, the image appears on the computer screen.
Now the topic is about the critical angle. When we move on the road in the summertime, at some distance we see that road is wet with water. ఎండాకాలం వెళ్తూ ఉంటే రోడ్డు మీద బండి మీద కానీ బైక్లో కానీ కొంత దూరంలో మన ముందర రోడ్డు తడిచిపోయినట్టు కనిపిస్తుంది. దాన్ని మీరేజ్ అంటాం, ఎండమావులు. అలాగే వర్షం బిందు రెయిన్ డ్రాప్లో లైట్ రే టర్న్ అవుతుంది, టర్న్ అయ్యి 7 కలర్స్ కింద ఫార్మ్ అవుతుంది. సో అలా టర్న్ అవడాన్ని ఎందుకు టర్న్ అవుతుందంటే డ్యూ టు ద క్రిటికల్ యాంగిల్, టోటల్ ఇంటర్నల్ రిఫ్లెక్షన్. అక్కడ కూడా వాటర్, రోడ్డు మీద వాటర్ ఉన్నట్టు కనపడడానికి కూడా కారణం టోటల్ ఇంటర్నల్ రిఫ్లెక్షన్. సో ఈ టోటల్ ఇంటర్నల్ రిఫ్లెక్షన్ అంటే ఏమిటి, రిఫ్లెక్షన్ అంటే ఏంటి? సో వన్ లైట్ రే ఒక మీడియం మీదకి వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ బ్యాక్కి వస్తే దాన్ని రిఫ్లెక్షన్ అంటాం. కానీ టోటల్ ఇంటర్నల్ రిఫ్లెక్షన్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు లైట్ రే ఒక మీడియం నుంచి ఇంకో మీడియంలోకి వెళ్తూ ఒకనొక కండిషన్స్లో అది మళ్ళీ తిరిగి బ్యాక్కి రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవ్వడాన్ని టోటల్గా ఇంటర్నల్ రిఫ్లెక్షన్ అంటాం. అంటే లోపలికి బెండ్ అయ్యింది. ఇలాగ ఎప్పుడు జరుగుతుంది? లైట్ రే వెన్ మూవ్స్ ఫ్రమ్ డెన్సర్ టు రేరర్ మీడియం. When light moves from denser to rarer medium, the angle of incidence is less than the angle of refraction. The angle of refraction is always greater than the angle of incidence. So in this situation, when the angle of incidence is increasing, angle of refraction also increases. So at some condition, the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree for a particular angle of incidence, and that particular angle of incidence is called critical angle. After that, when light ray moves, the incident angle increases, no refraction takes place. In spite of refraction, light turns back. That means the angle of refraction increases more than 90, so it turns inside the mirror, inside the medium. So this is called total internal reflection. That means what is the critical angle? It is the angle of incidence corresponding to the angle of refraction, which is 90 degree, when light ray passing from denser to rarer medium. When light ray passes from denser to rarer medium, the angle of incidence corresponding to angle of refraction, which is 90 degree, is called critical angle. So which is the critical angle? The angle of incidence is critical angle. Why? When the critical angle increases more than that, then in spite of refraction, reflection takes. The light comes inside only. So what is the total internal reflection then? So this is the phenomenon of light. When light ray passing from the denser to rarer medium, and angle of incidence cross the critical angle, then in spite of reflection takes place. That is called total internal reflection. Clear? Again, it is a phenomenon when light ray passing from denser to rarer medium. At that situation, when the angle of incidence cross the critical angle, then in spite of reflection takes place, which is called total internal reflection. And total internal reflection, in the total internal reflection, the objects appear more brighter than in the general reflection, because in the general reflection, in ordinary reflection, some light absorbed by the medium and some light reflects. So the energy present in the reflected medium is less than the incident light. But in the total internal reflection, not like that. Angle of incidence, whatever the energy is there, the total will be reflected back without absorbing anything. So the image which is formed by this total internal reflection is a more brighter than the general ordinary reflection. And here, critical angle is different for the different mediums. For all mediums, critical angle will not be same. As for glass, when light ray passing from glass to air, the critical angle should be as a 42 degrees. When light ray cross incident ray cross the 42 degrees, then light turns back. And at that time, the surface of the glass appears like a mirror. Due to this total internal reflection only, the diamond looks glitter. And due to this total internal reflection only, we can able to pass the messages through the optical fiber. Optical fiber means it is a small thin wire. In this thin wire, light will send solid wire. So when light sends at some angle, inside that pipe, we say thin pipe, then light has to come from that pipe to outside air. So the pipe is made up of the plastic, so total plastic. So it is a denser transparent plastic. So it is a denser medium. when light is coming from denser to rarer medium, so the angle of incidence should be lesser than the angle of diffraction. So automatically some critical angle will form. So beyond that critical angle, when light incidents, then it reflected totally inside. So in this way, light go on reflecting inside only, it moves. Light won't come out. So this type of moving inside the one wire or the solid tube is called total is optical fiber. And from this optical fiber, we can send the messages or information from one end to other end in any closed offices or any closed systems. And the next is, we can say the refractive index also determined by this critical angle. Refractive index is what? Sin I by sin R. Here sin I is what? Inside the glass. So sin R is inside the air. So sin I by sin R means we are getting the refractive index of the glass, air with respect to glass. So that is sin I by sin R means we have to write sin R is 90 degree and sin I is the critical angle. So sin R sin 90 means 1 and sin C we say. Yeah. So 1 by sin C is equal to refractive index of the air. Now if you want the glass refractive index means, then reverse it. So sin C, we get the refractive index, sin C by 1 is equal to refractive. So 1 by refractive index is equal to sin I by sin R. Sin I is sin C and sin R is 1. So here refractive index we are getting is equal to sin C. When we want the refractive index of glass, then reverse it. That means mu is equal to 1 by sin C. So when we get the refractive index, we can get the critical angle. And the refractive index is inversely proportional to critical angle. When the critical angle increases, refractive index decreases. When critical angle decreases, refractive index increases. So you can see some examples and the derivations part in the critical angle by some writings now. Okay.
Students, now we are deriving a relation between critical angle and refractive index. Okay, now this is a denser medium, maybe water or glass. This is a rarer medium, maybe air or vacuum. What is this? Surface of separation or interface. This is the normal drawn to surface of separation. A light ray is passing from denser medium into rarer medium. Okay, now angle of incidence is equal to critical angle. Then what about refracted ray? It grazes out the interface. That means the light ray passes along the interface. In such a case, small r is equal to 90 degrees. So how can you define critical angle? When light ray passes from denser medium into rarer medium at a particular angle of incidence, the refracted ray grazes out the interface. That angle of incidence is called critical angle. Okay, so when I is equal to C, then angle R is equal to 90 degrees, right? Now remember Snell's law. Here you apply. What is the first form of Snell's law? Sin I by sin R is equal to constant. Okay, what is its second form? N1 sin I is equal to N2 sin R. That is its second form. Okay, now N1 is the refractive index of the denser medium, N2 is the refractive index of the rarer medium. Now here I am applying N1 sin, what is I? Here angle I is equal to angle C. So I substituted C is equal to N2. What is R? Angle R is equal to 90 degrees. So N1 sin C is equal to N2 sin 90. Simple substitution. Right. Bring N2 to LHS side. So N1 by N2 is equal to send sin C to RHS side. Sin 90 by sin C. N1 by N2 means N12. How can you read it? Refractive index of the first medium relative to second medium. Okay, is equal to sin 90 is nothing but 1. So 1 by sin C. This is the relation between refractive index and critical angle. Okay, if N2, that is rarer medium, if this medium is air or vacuum, then its refractive index is 1. In such a case, take N2 as 1. Then it will be N1 is equal to 1 by sin C, or N is equal to 1 by sin C. You need not write N1. You can write it as N. So N is equal to 1 by sin C. This is the relation between absolute refractive index and critical angle. Okay, this is an important relation. Keep this relation in your mind. Now I explain you what is total internal reflection. This is denser medium. This is rarer medium. It is surface of separation or interface. This is normal drawn to interface. The light ray is passing from denser medium into rarer medium. Here angle of incidence is more than critical angle. The light ray does not enter into rarer medium. It certainly reflects into the same medium. This phenomenon is called total internal reflection. So for total internal reflection, there are two conditions. Condition number 1. What are the conditions for total internal reflection? Light ray should pass from denser medium into rarer medium. That is the first condition. What is the second condition? Angle of incidence should be greater than critical angle. Okay, these two are the important conditions for total internal reflection to take place. Then what happens? If these two conditions are fulfilled, the light ray should not enter into rarer medium. It is reflected into the same denser medium. This phenomenon is called total internal reflection. There are so many applications to total internal reflection. The formation of mirages.